too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, yeah. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better.
All right. Well, good morning, good morning. Sorry I'm late here, about 5 minutes, but having a little bit of technical difficulty this morning. So, yeah, you know, that stuff happens. So if you're, I guess, my personal page isn't streaming today for some reason. So I just put a note on there for people to go over to my business page. They can catch it over there because it's streaming over there fine. Let me just check it real quick here. Also, my computer is behaving very slowly today, and you know, it's just going to be one of those techie days, I guess. So let's see here. Let me see if I go back to my page and I click on that. Will it take me there? No. Oh, what's happening? What did I do wrong here? Bear with me, and we're gonna get started on Hero Life Hump Day soon. Oh yeah, I changed the URL. Yeah, Hero Life. Okay, hold on. right. Try it again. Head over to my business page at www.facebook.com/J. Scott MacMillan Hero Life. Boom. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that should work. Okay. There we go. So hopefully everybody's over there. And yeah, so good morning. Well, let's see. I don't even really have any news today. I might have a guest that's going to come on today. We'll see if she can make it today. And let me go ahead and find out where the link is here. And we can see if we can bring her on. Where are we here? All right. Overlays. Yeah, so how's it going today, everybody? Little discombobulated today. It's 49 degrees here, Apple Watch says, on, what is it, November 18th. I have been having my head down trying to get my new course out, which I'll talk about briefly here in a minute as soon as I can find the link. Here we go. Let's see. Interview. There we go. All right. Copy link. There we go. Okay, let me go over here and put the link in case anyone wants to join me today. Again, I'm over at my business page, and I'm going to pop that in over here if my mouse wants to work. Wow, my computer is just like freezing up today. Well, I'm not sure we're going to make it through this. We'll make it through. We'll figure it out. Okay, so there it is. There is the link. If anybody wants to join me today, if the tech gremlins will leave me alone. Okay, let's see. All right. So you can see here I'm in my dungeon. My brick wall dungeon. Actually, I'm in my green screen. Anybody on here today? Let's see, I got one person on. Say hi if you're on here today so I can say hi to you. All right, so what I was going to do was kind of just go out, pop in here to Apple News and see if we can read the news together. But my mouse isn't working that good here. But let's see if this works here. I'll share my screen, and I'm going to go full screen here and see how that works. Ah, cool. Okay. I think that's working. So anyways, let's see. What do we got for top stories here today? We got Pfizer vaccines is 95% effective in the final data. We know that. That's kind of old news now, right? I think so. Let's see. New COVID-19 restrictions take effect across the U.S. with hospitals on the brink. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. Here in Kansas City area, I haven't seen any. I was looking today to see if there's going to be a new lockdown order. I think we're all kind of wondering if that's going to happen. I kind of keep waking up every day seeing if that's going to be the new reality again, if they lock things down. Because it's getting bad, our hospital's getting full, and if we can just make it through, it looks like these vaccines are going to be powerful. If they can get them distributed, that's going to be the critical thing. I hope they can. And I'm guessing, just, top of my head, that maybe in March we might be able to see the general public starting to get them, and maybe by August, maybe the end of the summer, maybe things might be getting back. Or I never say I don't want to go back to the way it was. I want to be better than it was. But hopefully we can then get our lives going forward again and get the heck out of our houses. I hope so. Let's see. What other trending stories here? George Clooney's chocolate-covered 3-year-old son crashes his HQ interview. I don't know. We got to see that. What's that all about? Chocolate-covered 3-year-old son. Come on, you got to show a picture. No, they aren't showing a picture. But it looks like it was during a Zoom meeting. That makes sense. Can't believe he's got a 3-year-old. Well, let's see what else is going on here. What's this one with wine? Gotta always check out wine. There's more than one kind of rest. Which do you need? Is that the ad? There's some wine. 6 habits that secretly make us miserable and how to kick them. Oh, okay. Well, that can't be wine. Get out of there. You know, it's been interesting. Since I haven't been going out much, I haven't been drinking hardly at all. But I like a little glass of red wine. And so in the evening, sometimes I'll pour a little glass of red wine. I'll get like half a glass, and I am just out of it. I'm tired. I'm like, want to crash. Half a glass is all I can handle anymore. Anybody else have that problem? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. What else is going on here? Interesting. Why your brain feels foggy these days. Let's see what that's about. Being forgetful, unfocused, mind sluggish. Anybody relate to that? But science shows that brain fog is super common, especially in these stressful times. Here's why. Let's see. We're all feeling more a bit overwhelmed. And they are saying that it's tempting to think brain fog happens when you get older. But he's saying no, that it's due to stress. So what is brain fog? Whoop, back up. Oh, my mouse is freaking out today. Get up back there. Let's see. Chalked it up to Zoom meetings. This one lady did. She figured she needed some sleep. There's actually a psychological reason why it's so common. Clinical professor of neurology says, blah, blah, blah. There is a neuropeptide called orexin, which is one of several circuits that keep us awake and alert. It's astounding that our wakefulness and arousal is controlled by such a small number of nerve cells. It's easy to see how this part of the brain system might easily be impacted. Good news is that our brains are hardwired to be alert. Okay. Well, I guess it's saying that when we're under stress, that this little pocket of nerve cells get affected. But you know, I've been saying that a lot. I've been saying that for a long time now. That we've got to keep our bodies healthy. And hold on, let me get back here to the camera. Doesn't want to do that. There we go. And that stress can really affect our bodies and our immune systems and our awake levels, apparently, and brain fog. And so most of us reach for caffeine, although this is my lovely tea. Oh, look at this. Since this cup is kind of greenish, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of showing through. Oh, that's cool. It's like the cup is brick. I don't know if you can see that, but that's funny. Anyways, so yeah, brain fog is due to stress. Who knew? Interesting. All right, well, let's see. Let's see if I can get back to Facebook here for a second. See if Crystal can join us today. Let's see. Don't see anything there. Let me pop back over to my main page. Let's see it here. Nah, I don't know. Well, anyways, Crystal, if you're there and you see the link, go ahead and pop on. I think I will be able to see. Oh, there you are. Hey, can you see the link? Are you on I guess you are on my page. The link is in there if you want to hop on. And let's see if let me put it in there again. Sometimes it doesn't stick. Oh, there it is. So if you click that link, you should be able to join me. Let me know if the link isn't there. And we're going to talk about what to do in this crazy time and how we can create. You know, I never did do my show teaser, but let's go ahead and do that while I'm waiting for Crystal here to hop on. So in times of uncertainty, have you found that there's something good to take away from these special COVID times? So stay tuned, because we're going to talk about how to use creation and how to make these crazy times maybe better than ever. All right, let's see if we can get Crystal on here. My mouse will get over there. Come on, mouse. All right, there we go. All right, there's Crystal. Let me put you on here. We're gonna add you to the right. Oh, there we go. Boom. Hi there. Let's see. Do you have any headphones? I should have mentioned that, or earbuds or something. Let's see here. Oh, and me there. Oh, now you're on the other side. There we go. All right, all right. I don't think I can hear you yet still. What about your volume control? I think it's up here. Yeah. No. It's kind of funny. Sometimes these impromptu things work, sometimes they don't. Usually when I plan these things out, I plan them and then we get everything all tested, but I thought, hey, we'll just pop Crystal on here because she's got some good things to talk about. But let's see, volume, I think, let's see if, do I have any? Let's see, oh, wait a minute. I might, let's see. Okay, I'm on there. Let's see, interview, let's see. Oh. Well, I don't know. Hold on here. Let me see if... No, that didn't work. But you can hear me. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, bummer. All right. Well, let's see. Instead of messing too far with this, let me see if this does anything. Nope. No. Let's see here. Well, it's kind of weird because let's see if interview, yeah, that should be good. Oh, well. Okay, she's trying again. All right, so now you're in the green room. Let's see. Oh, maybe. Let's see. You're on. Volume says on my side. Okay, wait. You muted the guest. Now it's on. I don't know, Crystal. Bummer. This newfangled technology, sometimes it just isn't going to work. Okay, well, let's go back to the old-fashioned way here, and I'll let you drop off here because I know you can't stay too long, but maybe you can type in what are some of the things that you're doing during this pandemic or during this time to make it good as it can be or even better. And when we come out of this, I know that I'm going to try to make it better than it was, but sometimes being in this this funk gets people down. So what do you do to stay positive? I'm gonna go ahead and drop you off here, and then you can type. All right, and we'll drop Crystal off of here. We'll get that figured out someday. So yeah, so now she's just gonna type it in here, and while she's composing that, let me just talk a little bit about my new course that's coming up, although it's kind of late in the game now. But yeah, I am, okay, she's on here. Yeah, so one of the things that I've done during this time, when COVID hit, I got really creative. And I had been wanting to put my book in an online course format. And I had been creating a lot of videos and working on it, and I've had it just kind of sitting there. I finally put a stake in the sand and said, Black Friday, I'm going to launch it. So it's coming out Black Friday. So go ahead and type in here, Crystal. What are some of the things that you're doing to stay real positive during this time? And I'll put it up on the screen here. So yeah, so the course is coming out. So I'm going to pop on here. If you hop over to this URL, hjsfnow.com, that stands for Heroes Journey Success Formula.com or now.com, that'll put you on the wait list because it launches Black Friday. But if you get on that wait list, you're going to get to get on a day earlier, and you're going to get some really special bonuses. And it may or may not look something like this, which is Hero Life is my company. This is a really cool mug. There might be this and maybe something else special. If you get in and buy the course and be one of the first 10 people, yay. All right, so I see that you there you go. All right, so Crystal says, let me pop this on the screen now. We'll get my URL off there. I do a lot of inner work. My inner work has become my priority, and I have leaned into the unknown with curiosity and stillness. That's good, Crystal. So tell us a little bit about the inner work. We're going to have to get you on. We're going to get this figured out, and we're going to get you on because I'd love to really talk to you in depth about this. But just briefly, what's the kind of inner work that you do? And it is interesting because leaning into the unknown is, I think, one of the keys, right? Because we're in this unprecedented time of a lot of unknowns. Like, we don't know now, are we going to get locked down again? What's going to happen? And I think that that's critical, is to lean into it and not be afraid of it. And just say, look, I'm going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to follow the rules that we can do and stay as safe as possible. And, for me, that's how I lean into it. And so for inner work, for me, inner work is to do my meditations. I do a powerful meditation and then a visualization. At the end of that, meditation calms me down and gets my brain into the alpha state. And then I do a powerful visualization of my future, of exactly what I want in the future and how I want it to look and who's there with me and what are their emotions and what are my emotions. And when I do that, I'm powerfully focusing my brain on the things that I want in life, the good things, which then diffuses the negative stuff. And then during the day, I try to keep checking into that. So Crystal says, for her, I do what I call belief work and working with my subconscious, evolving my belief system and detach from false securities. Nice. Belief work. I wonder, that sounds a little bit similar to what I am doing. Hey, Idiona. Good morning. A little bit about what I do, and that is well, first of all, I have to identify what my limiting beliefs are. And someone's calling me. Nope. And make sure that those aren't sabotaging me and that are getting in my way. And then I know now that those limiting beliefs aren't true. I turn those into powerful, positive beliefs. And then I visualize daily what that future feels like and what I believe and how I see it. And Crystal says here more, I'm using your imagination is immeasurable for our high consciousness and evolution. And isn't that amazing how we can use our imagination? And it's so powerful. And I know I talk a lot about how thoughts can become things and how thoughts really dictate your life here. This is what I'm really talking about. This is what Crystal and I would have been talking about, and we'll talk about someday. But clearly, using our imagination to powerfully visualize the positive things we want in our life instead of the negative. And unfortunately, our imagination can go the other way and visualize negative things. And that's what spins us into this cycle of anxiety. And I've been there, and a lot of us have. It's pretty easy, especially with all this unknown, to spin into this cycle of negative anxiety. Let's see what else Crystal says here. She says, many look at it as sabotaging, and I perceive it as a catalyst. Oh, love that word, catalyst. So our imagination, our thoughts can sabotage us. But we can also use our thoughts and our imagination as a catalyst, right? To propel us into the future that we want. And I know I make it maybe sound easy, but it's definitely not. But that's what it takes, is to focus your mind on the good things. I know it's hard sometimes when life seems like it's crashing around you. And what I tell people that ask me that, I say, look, but things are really bad in my life right now. How can I possibly think of all these good things? And what I tell them is, take one moment, see if you can relax enough, take a deep breath, and try to get your nervous system to calm down just a bit. Because when we're in that cycle, our body starts to react to our mind and our emotions, and we fill our body with the stress chemicals, right? And then our body goes into that, and then we feel it, and then we get more tight. And if you can relax just a bit, if you can take enough deep breaths where you can inform the nervous system that it can relax a bit, you'll get this feedback loop that's more on a positive side. The body will relax a little bit. It will inform the mind that it's relaxed a little bit, and it kind of takes on a life of itself. And if you can do it just a little bit, even that little bit, you do that daily, you're going to widen that gap a little bit between that stress response and just holding your shoulders tight and your body's tight, to just pulling your chest back and just taking deep breaths and being able to just relax and let the mind calm down a bit. And that might be the first connection you have to then being able to think of a positive thought. And so what I do every morning, because that I do try to do this every day, is that I don't get into these cycles that often. It still happens. We're all human in these cycles of negativity. But the more I do this, if I stay in my practice each day and each morning, then I'm more able to then continue to focus on the positive future I want. And the more I'm thinking about that, and the more powerful emotionally I'm thinking about that, the less time my brain even wants to think about or can think about the negative stuff. Yeah, and the day goes on, but I then try to check in with that and catch myself cycling in those negative thoughts. So let's see, Crystal said a bunch of stuff here. Idiona, let me pop this on. Idiona says, just allows the opportunity to open the space for endless amounts of possibilities to show up. And that's the case, right? If you're in the negative zone with your mind, body, your stress, you don't even have the possibilities to allow the good things to happen. And if you can calm down enough, take a few breaths, at least at that point you have the option, the possibilities of the great things. And when you think of it that way, and Idiona and I know, because we're in this energy class together, that we can have it all, and we think that way. Not all the time, but we ask ourselves daily, especially when we get thinking in these negative thoughts, like, wait a minute, I'm an infinite being. What if I could have it all? What would that look like? And we ask our questions. We ask questions of that. So Crystal says, I live in the embodiment of manifesting the feeling, and the rest will fall. So you manifest the feeling. It's the emotion, right, Crystal? I can sit there on my couch and focus on the emotions that I'm feeling in this beautiful future. We know now from science that the brain can't distinguish powerful visualization from the real thing. So the chemicals of those emotions are flowing through my body, and I'm sitting on my couch. So like I said, when I was writing my book and I visualized that people were going to stand in line at a bookstore, and as I'm signing my books, I visualized me looking into their eyes and to see their appreciation and their smile, and for me talking back to them. So when it happened for real, which it did, I'd already been there. I'd already seen it. I saw the people in line standing there to sign my book, and it was an amazing thing. And I knew this worked already, but to see that exact thing happened was truly amazing. Let's see. I love that. Let's see what else. Crystal's got some great comments here. It's just my belief work goes deep into the intention before the thought is even there. So that's very powerful too. Love to talk to you more about the belief work, Crystal. That sounds fascinating, because my first thought on that is that for me, by repeating my meditation and visualization practice, I'm embedding that into my body so that my intuition gets better. And that's the other area that I'm leaning into and learning, is that my intuition now knows, and that the intention is there before even the thought. So I love that. Yeah. Let's see what else here. Yeah, so Crystal says, automatic nervous systems, get intimate with yours. Yeah, when you get that feedback loop, your body can inform you so much on how you're feeling, but we ignore it. And when we're so tense, sometimes we don't even know. And she says, I think with my heart and feel with my body. Yeah, and it's this feedback loop that is this. You want to get it going in the positive direction, because it can be in a feedback loop in the negative direction, for sure. Idiona, what does Idiona say? I think it's helpful, although either way, the 3D will have the thoughts that come, and it's up to us to choose to let the train pass by, or for us to hop on the train and get stuck in the limitation. Ooh, that's good, Idiona. I like it. So the 3D world, the three-dimensional world that we all have to live in, we live in that, and we can get caught up in all the craziness. But if you can take a step back and pull yourself away from that and realize that you're an infinite being, and that we don't have to get caught up in that. We don't. You might find that hard to believe sometimes, that you don't have to, but just try that on. That you don't have to get caught into that negative loop. At first, it's going to be hard. It's like when people first learn to meditate. They're like, oh, I can't meditate. Too many thoughts going through my head. That's okay. It's baby steps. And even if you meditate for say 10 minutes, and only 1 minute of that or 30 seconds of that time is where your mind is truly gone to rest, that's still better than nothing. And the next day it'll maybe be a minute, and then it may be 2 minutes. And that's powerful. What else I got here? Come on, mouse, work. All right. My computer's just having a day, like I said, just like we all do. Crystal says, emotion and feeling are very different. When we are training in the conscious mind, it starts with thought. Then you go into emotion, and the feeling is manifested in the body. Ooh, I like that. I totally agree. I like it. I like it. I like it. I could take hours and unpack that statement. That's a great statement. Idiona says, this is such a contribution for me. Thank you for giving me the insight to and envision that. I can picture and see the books, but take it to the next level. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. The soul conceives, the mind creates, and the body experiences. Yep, love it. The soul. You know, I talk a lot about the hero's journey, and I've broken down the hero's journey into 3 main phases. And the first phase is the preparation phase. You're getting ready for your journey. And there's 4 stages in that. And then you've got the journey phase, where you're into the journey, into the hero's journey phase. There's 4 stages to that, and then you've got the return phase. And what I did was, because I love studying Carl Jung about archetypes and so on, is that Carl Jung has one of his self-development models. It's called the Individuation Model. And it breaks human development into 3 areas of the ego, the soul, and the self, and that we progress along a path of learning to understand our ego and who we are in the world. And all right, Crystal, I'll see you. Thanks for hopping on. We'll get together. We'll figure it out. Thanks. And so in the individuation model, the ego has to be understood. And thank you. I'll get back to this. Just thanks for showing up for the world. You too. And Idiona, you too. And I love doing this every day, even if just a couple of us get on here and talk about this. I think it does add to the world. So back to the model. So you've got the ego. Then once you have developed the ego enough where it can be confident in its own, you can move into the soul stage. So this is the journey stage. So the ego stage is the preparation stage in the hero's journey, where you're trying to figure out the ego and get yourself together and get to the point where you now can go on your journey. Now, when you're in your journey, the hero's journey, this is where the soul goes to explore. This is where it's got to test things and find out what you can do, what you can live with, and what you can't, and what's going to defeat you, what you're going to be able to then conquer or move through. This is where we face our fears. And as we're doing this, we're creating and building our soul, as Jung would say. And then after we've gone through the journey, we then are in the return home. So the last phase is that after you found the treasure of what you're seeking in your hero's journey, whether that be a new job, a new relationship, a new car, whatever it is, or understanding yourself better, as in my case, we then have to take that treasure and return home with it. And that really means now we assimilate it into our being, and then we can talk about it to other people, become mentors. And that's the self part of the 3 stages of the individuation process that Carl Jung talks about. And now that our soul is explored, we can really lean into ourself. Who are we really? Because we've gone through our journey. We've worked on our ego, we've let our soul explore, and now we can talk about and understand who we really are. What is the self? And at that point, we then are really comfortable in our own shoes. And, that's where self-actualization really comes in. And we could become mentors then and help other people because we've been through that journey. And we're confident in ourselves because we've been there and done that. And our soul and our self feel, and our ego are now connected together. And there's not the fighting that goes on there. So I'm actually reading a brand new book. It's an old book about Carl Jung's work. I tried to read some of Carl Jung's original works, but it's hard. It's tough reading. And so this book, I'm hoping, is a summary of his work. It's actually one of his students. And so I'll be probably having a lot more to say about Carl Jung and his work. But I really do talk about that a lot in my book, about how the hero's journey lines up with those phases. And I just think it's helpful for us to understand how all humans in general move through the stages of human growth. And we're all different, but we're really all on our own hero's journey. And it's just fascinating when we see that there's really no new answers out there. This is ancient wisdom that's been around forever. And if we can just tap into that sometimes, we can be enlightened so much. Yeah, so let's see what Idiona has to say here. Hold on. Oh. He says, this is so helpful. When I tapped into my high vibe and came back to reality, I realized I had adjustments to make. And I think that's the key of us taking our hero's journey. We see where we need to make some adjustments. And by looking at it, in a hero's journey format, we can understand, we can kind of have status on where our life is, and we can look back and see, what stage, what phase of the journey am I in? And I think it also helps just to know that we're not alone, that we all go through this. We all go through some form of the same journey. Idiona says, I think it's cool to apply psychological concepts to that. Self-actualization is something that we can achieve. It's not unattainable. It really is something to lean into. And some people don't get into that kind of stuff. I have a degree in psychology, and I know a lot of people that are listening here love to work in the psychological concepts and self-help books. And that's why we're here together, because we want to learn together and just get better. Because I think we can all do that and lean into it. And the key is, and this is really what this show I wanted to focus on, was that when there's a lot of chaos in our lives, and because of the pandemic in 2020, we can just call it the 2020 meme, there is a lot of outside influence that can make it harder for us to lean into self-actualization, to lean into being better. And what I'm here to say, and I want to get the point across, that even with this, we can lean in to the better parts of us. We can lean into our intuition. We can lean into just having our minds settle down a bit to inform our bodies that we can settle down a little bit and get into the cycle of, not the cycle of negativity and stress, but the cycle of calmness and peace. And at the very bottom line, do it so your immune system stays strong. So if COVID comes knocking at your door, your body can handle it. It's kind of what I keep saying to myself. I'm pretty careful with this, but it doesn't discriminate. Anybody can get it for any number of reasons. And I don't go out a lot, but I go to my local Starbucks, and I go to the grocery store, and I go to, that's about it, really. But even there, I'm potentially exposed. I wear a mask inside, but when I sit down, if there's not a lot of people around me, I'll take my mask off as I'm working, as I'm drinking my coffee. But I try to wear it as much as I can and try to put it back on. It's interesting. Our local Starbucks here in Kansas City area, there's a bunch of them, of course, but the one I go to, it's a pretty big one. And they spaced out the table, so no one's really within 6 feet of you. And typically it's not that full most of the time that I'm in there. So there may be, 5 or 6 people, 8 people at max, and we're all spread out. So I feel at that point, there's nobody around me, that I can take my mask off and work a bit. But as it gets filled, and again, no one's within 6 feet of me, but I can just feel it. I can feel there's just too many people in here. And even though they may not be breathing on me or whatever, to me, then I'm out of there. And I have the luxury to be able to do that. And so I don't put myself into situations where there's a lot of people. I just think that that's the smarter thing to do now. For anyone that's on the fence about this whole thing, because I get it, there's a lot of things you have to do. The school thing is just, I'm so thankful that I don't have to worry about that my kids, because they need to be with their peers and in school, but now maybe not the time. It's a tough one. I feel for you. But I try to not put myself into those situations. And I think if we can just make it through this winter, and if we can just wear masks and protect ourselves as much as we can to get through this winter, the vaccine's going to come out. Hopefully it's going to work. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns of getting that vaccine out there to enough of us. And hopefully it's as good as it seems in the small tests that they've done, but they're going to need to do more tests. But maybe by this summer, we can hold out that long. We can hold out till then. And if you're on the fence about it, it's like, so what? Let's just hold out, wear a mask until, spring or summer, and then we'll be through this. And then we can use all the lessons that we learned here, hopefully, to be better than we were for ourselves, the people around us, our community, the world. Catalyst. Crystal talked about the word catalyst. That's a good word. I like to use it a lot when we're talking about this time. Use this time as a catalyst for change, for the better. Change is happening anyways. So get on the train, as Idiona would say, the train of change in a positive way. So that's my little soapbox for today. All right. Well, that's about it. Let's see. Let me put up the URL again. So I'd love it if you'd go hop on the wait list, even if it's not something that you can do this year. This course is 6 weeks of intense learning about yourself through the hero's journey and learning how to do this positive meditation visualization that I talk about that changed my life, it's changed the life of my clients. And I know it'll change your life if you hop on here with me for the 6 weeks in this course. And we'll hop on a Zoom call each week. There's lots of videos and exercises that you get to work through. Then we'll get on a call. We'll talk about our own hero's journeys. We'll share. We'll answer questions. And we'll grow and learn. And we'll be so ready for 2021 when we get together and go through the hero's journey success formula together. So if you get on this wait list, you'll be notified before anyone else so that you can get some amazing swag if you're one of the first 10 people that sign up for this course. It's $347. For a course like this, I'm going to normally be charging about $1,200 for this. But since it's the first time that I'm offering this, and since it's this crazy time, I wanted as many people to get in here as possible. So for $347, you can change your life. And so I encourage you to hop on there, pass it around to your friends. I'm really excited to get this out there. You're also going to get a copy of my book and the audio book too, and some other great bonuses too. Oh, some great meditations from my friend, Idiona's friend, Elisa Wiggins, has done 5 beautiful meditations that will calm you, relax you, getting into the state where you can prepare to do visualizations. And you'll get those as part of this course too. Those are wonderful. So Idiona is excited. She's ready to rock and roll. I was trying to get your comment up here, but my mouse just doesn't want to work today. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be great, Idiona. Thanks. I can't wait to get into it and do it. So it's going to drop Black Friday, and then we're going to start in December. I haven't quite figured out the day, so probably mid-December we'll at least have our first session to get going before the year ends. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to sign off here. It's kind of a disjointed, combobulated show today, but I think it had a great message to amazing people that hopped on here with me and participated. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much. It really, really helps when you guys participate. I love it. I love the interaction, so it's great. All right, so I'm going to sign off here. You guys have a great day. It's Hump Day, remember? It's Hero Life Hump Day. Live. And so we'll see you next week.